welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today I am going to be working on my Saturday WIP and chat, which is my cross stitch conversion. If you are not familiar with a WIP and chat, that is a work in progress. And I work on this one every Saturday with you guys. I also try to work on it during the week. And actually this week I was able to complete 12 more squares. So I did start on this one later last night and thought I'd go ahead and work on this with you guys today. And then I can start on 6 more if I have time. I like to go for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. So I do watch the time. I don't want to go over that and bore you guys, but wanted to show you, it's been a while. This is what I'm working on. This is called a stitch in time. And I am just up here at the very top. So I've got a long way to go, but I'm really enjoying this kit. And if you're not familiar with what a converted cross stitch is, this is a cross stitch pattern that I have converted into a diamond painting. I am using a blank canvas from Evermoment, and I have also the drills from Evermoment. And next time I might use my own drills, but the first time I wanted to use drills that were from the same manufacturer and wanted to see how I liked that. Now I'm going to have to move my Kindle Fire over a little bit so I can see it better. I am using what's called Pattern Keeper, and I like Pattern Keeper because I do not have to count. It is extremely nice to be able to use that. And I am just really enjoying the process. So you don't have to go through and use like you used to a actual pattern that's paper pattern, which is nice. And I can just mark everything off on Pattern Keeper as I go, and that has really helped me. And you don't have to have Pattern Keeper to do this. I've had some people that have asked me, and no, Pattern Keeper is not required, but for me, it is really helpful. So how are you guys doing today? Let me know in the comments. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Saturday if you're watching this when it first comes out. I am recording this on Friday afternoon, and it looks like we're going to get some storms in, so I'm trying to get this done before it starts storming. And it is a little dark, so you may be seeing some glare because it is really dark out. The sun is trying to pop out every now and then, not very often, but it does try to pop out some, which is really nice. I wish that it would stay that way. I hope it doesn't rain this weekend, but I have a feeling that it's going to, which means we're going to be stuck inside. Today we went, my daughter and I need to get her set up with the bank account. And we've been talking about it, for a while. Went to the bank today and thought, well, we'll just go ahead and do this really quickly. And no, of course, nothing is ever fast anymore. Everything has just changed. When I went to the bank, she said, well, you'll have to come back this afternoon. And I thought that was kind of odd. And then she said, well, you have to, we are now taking appointments for customer service. So I thought that was even more strange. But went ahead and made an appointment for next week. But I just thought that was different. I didn't know that the bank required now that you have appointments to be able to go in and talk to someone that is in their customer service. Or, just if you go to a teller, you don't have to, but anything else you need to do at the bank, you have to have an appointment. So I had no idea. So we didn't get that done today. And we had a little bit of running around to do, not a whole lot. And it's been kind of a quiet day. The week has actually been kind of quiet. Yesterday, my daughter and I, Paige, diamond painted together for a couple of hours. She came down and was asking me if she said she wanted to diamond paint, asked me if I would like to diamond paint with her. Well, of course, I'm going to say yes. And I try to diamond paint every day. I don't always get to, but I do try. And so we diamond painted for a while. She's been working on the same kit for a long time, and it's a Mandy Manzano, and it's going to be so pretty when it's done. She's doing such a great job, and it is a round, so that is really good for her. But she's about halfway done, so I'm really proud of her, and I think that she is really going to like it once she does finally finish. She wants it in her bedroom. Trying to see where this goes. This goes there. I am going to get started on comments. I need to get caught up on comments because I'm a little behind because I didn't do this for about a month. And then the one time I did the tags. And so I didn't get to read any of the comments. I've responded to all of them already, but I like to respond to them also on my channel, and then I can add to it because sometimes it's a lot of typing. And I think that you guys have enjoyed that. I'm really glad that you all are enjoying this particular playlist that I'm doing. I have really enjoyed it myself. That goes there. I can mark that one off. It's been just a lot of fun, and it does get me, if I don't have time to do anything during the week on this particular project, at least I know that on Saturdays I will be able to work on it. I may have already done some of these colors and didn't realize it. I don't think so. No, I guess I didn't. And right now I am just working on 6. I found that 6 is a sweet spot for me. So I just have 3 columns with 2 each, and that tends to work out better for me. I've watched others working on it. I've gone to the Heaven and Earth Facebook page and read some of the comments there. And someone did post, I don't know if it was last week or actually when it was, but they posted with a question, how many squares do you like to do at one time? And so I was really interested in that particular conversation and read all of them, and some like to do a lot, which is really good. I tried to do more than 6, and I just really messed myself up. I just could not keep up, could not remember what quadrant I was in, and so I just kind of gave up on that and decided, no, I'm not going to. If it takes me longer, I'm going to do what's comfortable for me, and maybe I will pick up and do more as I move forward, but I think that 6 is really good. So if you're working on a counted cross stitch, let me know, or if you've worked on in the past, let me know in the comments below how many that you like to work on at one time. I'm just really curious. It's just really interesting to me how people work on different ways. And I know that watching Rebecca on Add More Zest, she also likes to do the 6 like I'm doing. And I'm not doing that because she was doing it. I started out doing 1, and I thought 1's not going to work. That's going to take absolutely forever. So I didn't want to do 1, and 1 was easy enough for me. I did 1 for a short time, and then I thought, let's move up. Then I went to 2 and just kept doing that. And so I kind of stopped at 6. I did try 8. I can do 8, but it takes me a lot longer to do, and I went back to 6. I thought, I just don't really like, this just isn't really working that great for me. So I went back to doing 6. And then there was someone on there that responded, and she did, I'm not really sure, I couldn't really understand what she was saying, but it seemed like at one point she was doing 10 to 18 the way that she had her canvas, and I know I couldn't do that. And I couldn't do it in one sitting because after about 600, which isn't that many, when it says 600 stitches, which is 600 drills, I get to where I just can't do it anymore. I have to stop and I have to take a break. Whereas if I'm working on a regular diamond painting, I can work for hours. I can't just sit for hours. I have to get up and move around. But when I get to about 600 on the conversion, then I have to stop. And I have to wait about 20 to 30 minutes at least before I can even think about starting to do it again. And I don't know why, but it just, I guess because you have to think more. And a lot of this that I've been working on, it is very confetti heavy. You're constantly changing colors. And I've said this before, but honestly, I cannot imagine doing this one as an actual cross stitch because I think that it would be a lot of work. And I don't know how you would change out the colors so much unless the back of your cross stitch looked really rough. And that was one thing when I did cross stitch, I had to make sure that my cross stitch, the back, looked good, because I kept hearing my grandmother's voice in my head saying, the back looks terrible. And she wasn't even alive at that point. She had passed away a long time before that. But I could just hear her voice. And she would never come out and say it looks terrible. That's not how she would say it. But in my mind, that's what I heard. She would have been very gentle. But that's what I heard in my mind, that, yeah, it's kind of bad. So I just kind of decided, I don't know if I could do cross stitch again. And besides that, my hands bother me, especially my left hand. And so I don't think that I could be able to hold cross stitch, for a long time, the hoop, and to be able to change out so much on the needle, making sure it's in the right place. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't want to start something else, because when I start something, I go all out. I have to have all the things, and it just isn't good for me. And I can't really start any other projects. I have done enough projects. I just can't do any more. There. I'm already doing enough. On Sunday, I have a different kind of video for you guys. I had several people that have asked for it, that you would like to see some of my other crafts that I do. And so I am going to have that coming out on Sunday. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy that. And for those of you that are not interested, no worries. Don't watch it. But I think that would be good for those of you that are. And then if you'd like to see more of that, maybe on a monthly basis, then I'll be glad to show you guys. I have gotten a little behind on my memory planning. I need to work on that. I got to print some pictures and do some things, but hopefully I'll be able to get to that. We don't do as much as we used to, so I don't have nearly as many photos to worry about. But it's just the fact of taking the time to go through and to print them. That's where I have the issue. Let's see, this is going to be... All right, this is looking really good. And this is a lot of fun. It does look like a lot of work, and it is different. It's not your typical diamond painting, but I really do like it. It is something that is different. It's not going to be for everybody, and I totally get that. But for me, it has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. Even though I have a very large diamond painting, I couldn't go with something smaller, which probably would have made more sense. It's a good thing that I like it, because I did decide to go with a larger one, and I've already chosen what I want to do for my next one, even though I'm not even close to being finished with this one. But I like to make plans and decide what I want to do. And so I've already got that on my mind. And then in October, I am going to participate. There's there's one in October and one in November that I want to participate in. And one is going to be with Anthony Single and Placing, and then also Hannah, who is the Sparkling Spectronite. And they are going to be doing cross stitch conversions. So I will be working on this one. I'm not going to start on another one for that, but that's also going to give me incentive to work on this daily, I hope. And then in November, there's one, I think hers is Kitting Up Kitten, and she is also doing this with somebody else. I don't know the other person. I do apologize. I'll put that as it gets closer. Hers is more structured, it sounds like. I have not done hers before, but I was looking at her, the one that she did, I think, I'm not even sure what month it was, but it looked like a lot of fun. She did have specific amounts that you need to do, and I'm not going to do it to try to win prizes or anything. I will try to keep up with what she suggests and just see how that works, and then I'll decide if I want to do it that way or if I can't keep up, but I'm sure going to try. That will be really good. And it'll be fun to work with others too. Even though I'm going to be doing this anyway, I think it'll be fun to work with a community, especially ones in October that I know. So that will be a lot of fun. Okay, let me go to comments. I gotta log back in. Okay, so I'm going back to right before the 4th of July. So I'm really hoping that I can get some of these knocked out. That way I will be able to go forward, and that will be really nice too. The first one is from Lisa. Lisa says, glad you enjoyed the retreat. Happy 4th of July. And thank you, Lisa. I really did enjoy it. We're already talking about retreats for next year, for 2024, which to me is just, it's mind-blowing. But it takes a lot for retreats, and there's 2 that I'm looking at. So we'll see if I get in. I hope that I do, but we'll see. Maybe I will. That will be really nice if I did. So I know that Mindy's retreat is now full, and she even closed it for the waiting list. So she has already a very long waiting list. The Great Lakes retreat has not opened yet for anybody that did not go this past year. And that one is going to be a lot of fun. I have applied for that one again just to see if I can get in. And then I have another person that I talk to quite often, and she wants to go. So she's going to see if she can get in, and then we're just going to go from there. So not sure yet which one I'm going to, if any. Just have to see if I'm able to get in. And the Great Lakes retreat is a raffle, so you sign up, and they have not opened up for anybody else yet. I'm not sure when they're going to do that, but when I find out, I will also put that underneath my community tab, so that way you guys will know. And then I'll also let you guys know on one of my WIP and chats when I hear when it's going to open. So I will let everybody know. And it's nothing secretive because they're going to post that as well. So we'll all know when we'll all know at the same time. So it's not going to be anything secretive or anything like that. But it's hard to believe we're thinking about 2024 when I just got back from the retreat. But again, it takes a lot for retreats. I've done a couple of scrapbooking retreats that I actually helped with in preparing, and it is a lot of work, and it was nothing on the caliber of either one of these. So I totally get it. Let's see, there's a lot of 938s. That is good, because that way I can talk and do this, making sure everything is still good. Okay. The next one is from Tracy. She says, great video. She's glad that I enjoyed meeting other people and doing diamond painting. Thank you so much for sharing. Thanks, Tracy. And then Renee says, our area of South Carolina has cowtail, which is the white package with orange typing and cows, candy at the gas station, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General. If not found in your area, should be able to purchase them online. Hope I have a great 4th of July and beautiful painting. And I found out when I was at the retreat, they had this candy called cowtail. And I did not realize that you could also purchase this in the US. I thought that it was a Canadian candy only. And the reason why I thought that is that we had some friends of ours that came from Canada, and they were talking about this candy, and I could have sworn they said that they missed it when they were here because it is a Canadian candy. That's where I was thinking that perhaps it was just Canada, but apparently you can get it in other places. I have not seen it here, but I hadn't really looked for it. So that doesn't mean that we don't have it. It just means that I haven't looked for it. So that's something I need to do. I still have a couple left from the retreat. I had gotten more than what I thought I did and really didn't mean to, but it's really good. It's caramel. It's really good. I'm not really a crazy candy person. It's just not something that I really get into, but I really did like this candy. It was rather yummy. Let's see, where am I? Okay, that one goes there. Okay, this one to go there. Some of these are kind of hard to see. That goes there. And one thing I'm having an issue with, and I don't know if it is my Kindle Fire or if it's just how this is, but some of the colors, whenever I mark them off for a particular symbol, it's not the color of the DMC. So when I go back and I'm looking and I'm thinking, well, maybe that doesn't go there. Part of that is because I'm looking at the colors on here and it just doesn't look like it should be on here. So that's kind of strange. I don't really know. So if you guys have had experience with that, let me know too, because I'm just not sure why this would be this way. And it really shouldn't. But that's how I've noticed some of these. Okay, that one. Okay, I've already done that one. I need to mark these off as I do them. That would make more sense. But yeah, I'm just curious to see if you guys have had that problem as well. Because like on this one, it just doesn't look like the same color. It's a brown. When I mark this on here, it doesn't exactly look brown. Or right now I'm using a burgundy. And it doesn't look like a burgundy. Go there. It's not on a stick. I have noticed with some of these drills, I don't know if this is normal or not. It's not the drills, it's actually the canvas, that if the canvas is open for very long, it tends to dry up. I've not had a canvas to do that before. This happened on the end. I had it covered in release paper, and even with the release paper, it wasn't really tight. And so I don't know exactly what happened there, but it's, when I'm looking at it, I can see that the glue has dried up. It's only on a very small section, but I do have some extra glue, so I did it that way, and it seems to be okay. But I thought that was a little strange. It's not real sticky. It's not bad, but it's just not really sticky. Even with this, it's enough to where the drills will actually fit on here okay. But the bottom has, on one little section, it doesn't have any glue on it. So I used a baby wipe, and that did help. Not enough, but I do have some glue that I was able to use, that I used for cards. And I put just a little bit of glue on there, and that seemed to work okay. So now I'm having to be really careful when I'm getting these out, so that way I don't have a problem. I'm going to move this over. I'm on my second layer here. Hoping you guys can still see okay. Let me make sure. Make sure you can see. There's really not that much to see. Anyway, the next one is, that was from Renee. April says, if you are more than welcome if you like any of it and want more care packages are available from me, cowtails included. And April, and thanks so much, April. April was my secret Santa, and she got me some really cool things. So that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed everything that she's got me. I did drink the wine, April, if you're listening. It was really good. I enjoyed it. And also some chips. That was really good too. Love my socks. One day I was absolutely freezing, and I don't know why. I thought it was cold in our house, and I went and put those socks on, and my daughter she was so funny. She loved the socks. I'm like, nope, these are my socks. They're not yours. They're mine. And there's 3 pairs, and they're dogs and cats, and they're really, really cute. And they have the little ears, and they're the little fuzzy socks. So I love those. Been wearing those around the house. And so I told my daughter, I'm like, nope, don't even think about it. These are mine. And so she just started dying out laughing. She says, yes, I know. I'm like, but I really do like these socks. And she got me a really nice candle. It smells amazing. And then also she got me a gift certificate. And surprisingly, I have not used my gift certificate yet, which for me, that's unusual. So I need to use my gift certificate and plan on doing that soon. But that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Loved getting to meet everybody. Loved getting to meet April. We actually sat close by each other, which was even more funny. And I never saw her deliver my package. You know, she had others to do it, and I did the same thing with my Secret Santa gifts. But it was just really funny that she was right there, and I'm like, oh wow, she's right there, and I didn't even notice that she dropped off gifts. So that was really cool. So I really do hope that I get chosen. We'll see. Next one is Tammy. She said, thanks for sharing experience of the retreat. My painting is beautiful. And then Dip in Time, Rhonda, says, hello, hello, wonderful Debbie. Was great to meet you in person. Had a blast with you and everyone. Rhonda, Dip in Time, was my roommate for the weekend. And we also shared a car service. So that was a lot of fun too. And got to meet her, got to get to know her. And it was just a lot of fun. So that was really enjoyable. You mark these off. I do not want to forget where I am. I'm the really world's worst. I don't mark these off and then I wonder, what have I done? Okay, the next one is Dawn Creates. So glad you had a great time at the retreat. Thanks for sharing your experience. Hope your name gets picked for next year. Me too. She says Rhonda is a very sweet lady. She met her on Crafting Journeys. Rebecca, who's also at the retreats channel. She hopes me and my family have a wonderful holiday. See you in the next video. So thanks so much, Dawn. Yeah, Dip in Time does have a YouTube channel. So if you are not familiar, check out that channel. And she's just started. So she has a few on her channel. And so there's others too that were at the retreat that have channels that I need to go in and listen to them more. And that's one thing I have not done. I have a lot on my list that I really want to do, just have not done it yet. Let's see, where am I? Okay, that one is good there. Okay, let's go to the next one. That was from Dawn. Lori says, glad to hear about the retreat. Thanks for sharing. And thanks so much, Lori. And then we have Angie. Angie's Crafting with Diamonds. She says she makes her happy that I like my pen. She thinks it's a really pretty kit. The pen that I'm using and I've been using, I haven't changed my pen out because I really like this one so much. But Angie gifted me this pen. I originally bought a pen that was just like this one, and I dropped my pen. I've never dropped a pen. I've always been really careful. Well, I have dropped a pen, but I was lucky the pen that I dropped did not break. But this pen, well, not this one, but the identical of this pen, I dropped it, just barely dropped it on the floor, but the bottom of it broke. And I thought, well, that's okay. It's just the bottom. Well, it wasn't okay because every time that I used it, I tried to use the multiplacer would fall out because that was the piece on that side that fell. And so that was kind of a problem. And I even used washi and that didn't work. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to order me another pen. But I said, I'm going to wait until after the retreat to order my pen. And I kind of waited and waited. And then next thing that I knew, I got a pen from Steven, Crafted Makes. And I thought, I didn't order this pen. Did I order a pen? I don't remember ordering a pen. And then Angie told me that she bought it for me. And she bought one for her that was matching. So that was really, really sweet. And I love how this pen is light in my hands. It's not heavy at all, which is really nice because a lot of my pens get really heavy. And then with them being so heavy, I am not able to use them very much. I'm trying to see where this one goes. Just there. When this starts to fill up, even though it has numbers, sometimes it's hard to tell exactly where I am on here. And so I have to kind of go through and see where exactly is one. That one I think is there. I am really glad these are numbered. My original one that I had was not, and I thought I'm going to have a really hard time with this. But this one, it's nice because I like how the numbers are on here. It has saved me from really messing up on several occasions. Okay, let's see. This one actually goes down here. Actually goes there. Okay. If my dogs are barking and you guys can hear, I do apologize. They're outside. Paige is running to get them. They have been very finicky all day. It's like they don't want to, I don't know why, but they just really do not want to stay outside. I guess because it's been so hot. And usually even with it being hot, they don't care. But today they do not want to be outside. I can't say I blame them because it is rather warm. Okay, let's see what I'm getting. Finish this one color and then I can get back to it. Let's see. Okay, the next one is from Tammy. Tammy says, love your painting. Jaded Gem Shop is top of my list to buy next. Love their paintings. And I do too. I love Jaded Gem Shop's paintings. And with Jade, it does take some time to get your paintings in. It can take up to 12 weeks. And she even says that on her website, so it's full disclosure when you're ordering. Some she has that are already ready, but then others she orders from her manufacturer in China, and then she has to wait until they come in. And then once they come in, she actually looks at the rendering and she makes sure that everything is in there. And I think that she even goes through on those and she does all of the drills. So it is, but it's well worth it because her kits are really nice. I did complete that kit that she's referring to, and I will put that playlist at the top of the eye. I also had the completion posting that was up this past week. And then also I have a framing on that one. And it turned out really pretty. So if you don't mind waiting, if you're in a hurry for a kit, then you may want to get one of her kits if you really wanted one, and then make sure you have a snack or something that you can work on until you receive it. But for me, the 12 weeks does not bother me one bit because I have plenty of time to work on something else, and I also have plenty to work on. Okay, 3031 has quite a bit. Let me see, where am I? Okay, Deborah says she's glad I had so much fun on the retreat. It was fun to hear about it. She says she was thinking about the whole time I was gone, wondering about what I was doing. Hope I have a great week. Yeah, I've had several that actually sent me messages because I was a little nervous, and I did not make any bones about it on my channel that I was a little nervous because I really didn't know anybody, and that is not my personality at all, to just go and not know anybody that I'm going with. You know, I knew some of them, from online, but it's a little different when you're that far away from home and you don't know anybody. You are a major introvert, and it's just maybe a little bit nervous. And once I did it, I thought, what have I done? Should I not have done this? Am I okay? And I'm really glad that I did. I'm glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone and that I did go ahead and decide to go on a retreat. And so now I am definitely excited about going on another one. So that's how much fun that I did have. But I was a little nervous, I will admit. And the next one was Carrie. She said, oh my goodness, on your airport and flight experience, since like the retreat was fun, my painting looks awesome, unreal about my bags. They should have a canopy type thing so bags don't get wet. And I definitely agree on that one. When I picked up my bags, when I got back into the Atlanta airport, my bags were drenched. We had a really bad storm before we left there, and my bag got so wet. I was really concerned because I was afraid that what was in my bag had actually gotten ruined. And then I would have been really, really upset because I had all my diamond paintings in there that I had purchased. And then I also had a lot of what I had already was mine that I brought with me. So that was also in there. So that made me a little bit nervous as well. And then on top of that, I had some of my swag in there that we had gotten. So it was a little nerve-wracking when I went and I got my bag and realized that with my bag that there was a problem. And didn't even realize that my bag was wet until I got home. My backpack that was a rolling tote that could also be a backpack, that one was also wet. And it was soaking wet. But I didn't really have that much in there that if it would have gotten wet, I thought, well, that will be okay. But did not realize that my big bag had also gotten wet. All my clothes, everything was in there. So it was pretty tough. And I did call whenever I got home and I told the airline that I was flying with, what had happened and just wanted to, let them know. Of course, they didn't do anything. I knew they wouldn't. I didn't think they would do anything, but I wanted them to know in case I ended up having a problem and then I was going to call back. But it took several days before my bag actually dried out. I had it in the garage, which is rather warm in there. And then also we had some sunny days. And with the sunny days, I went ahead and put my bag outside. And that's how it finally dried out. But that was a story there. It was crazy. That makes me wonder if I go back next time, do I really want to check in my bags? But really, the size that I took, I had to. I didn't really have a choice. So I'll be concerned next time if it does rain. Okay, the next one is another Deborah. And this is saying she's happy that I had a positive experience about the retreat. She would love to attend. It might be out of her price range. Around 2007 or so, she attended with friends at Scrapbook Expo in St. Louis and had so much fun, made cards and scrapbooked at that time, so it was an amazing time. And then she says, enjoyed my WIP and chat. So thanks so much, Deborah. And I did go to Scrapbook Expo in Georgia and had a wonderful time there. Came back and a day later I got sick, but when I was there I wasn't sick and I had a really good time. So it was definitely fun. I did buy some things to make cards and some journals. Let's see, this is 3042. So I need to change colors again, make sure we're still good here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next WIP and chat. Give me just a second. Let's see. I'm going to have to move up just a little bit. Okay, here it is. Okay. This one, we're getting a little bit closer to getting finished. Okay, Tracy says at the moment she's working on Butterfly 30 by 30. Also create love, share the koala. That is a 55 by 70. I don't think I'm familiar with the koala. There's a lot of butterflies out there, but I'm not sure about the koala. I don't know if that's a Diamond Art Club or if that is something else. I am currently working on a snack size koala, but that is Craftly. and it is by inches, it's not centimeters, so I'm not even really sure how big that it is, but I wanted something that I could work on after I finished my lazy river that was so confetti heavy. I just needed something that would keep me going for a little bit. I wouldn't have to worry so much about confetti. There's that one there. So this is a really pretty pink, or actually purple, but it doesn't look like purple on here. And I checked, I have all the DMC colors, so it has something to do, I think, with the shading on my Kindle Fire. And that's okay. I just have to remember when I'm looking at these that I'm not exactly looking at, see, I'm not exactly looking at the right colors. So let's go to the next one up here at the top. That is going to be a 10, so I'm going to need to be down one more. If I keep doing it like this, where I have the 6, I know exactly, I can tell where I am, because in my head I know I'm calling them quadrants. So I'm like at quadrant 1, quadrant 6. So that is definitely helping. Let's see. And this one's getting close to filling up, so that's definitely a good thing. I'm hoping to get more of this done next week. I really am looking forward to getting to the end of these 2 rows. I want to see how far over that it is for my canvas. I did purchase a canvas a little bit larger, so I'd have plenty of extra space just in case that I miscalculated. So I wanted to go ahead and check on that to make sure that everything is good, and it better be, because I've spent so much time on this already. This is from Elizabeth. She says, good morning, enjoy your WIP and chats. She was the time currently working on Cafe Terrace at Night by Van Gogh for Summer with the Masters. That one's really pretty. It is large. And she says, glad you had a great time at the retreat. Nice to hear that Paige enjoyed Wicked. Personally, I don't like Wicked. The only song I remember is popular right now. She is fighting, or at the time she was fighting, plugged up ears and a really sore throat. She's having to visit her dermatologist. She has applied for a new passport online, and then she's hoping that helps her get through quicker on TSA. And I didn't realize that, so that's nice to know. She's going to Maui in September, and so she's probably been at least 15 times, but she does own a timeshare. And then she discusses which airlines that she's going to go on, or she wanted to and couldn't. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. I'm looking forward to hearing her adventures in Hawaii. It sounds really fun. I have never been there. Have you guys? Let me know in the comments. We hadn't really been hardly anywhere, to be honest, but we have not been to Hawaii. That is on my bucket list someday. Someday we will go. We'll try to go anyway. So this is going to be over. Here's only one over here. And that's what drives me crazy. Out of 6 squares, there is only 1 square, or out of 6 squares of 10. So of all of these squares that I have, there is only 1 of this color. And that's why it's taking so long. Okay, there's nothing on this color. The next one is 3363. We have a green. Okay. The next one is from Lisa. She says, my princess is looking great. That's the one from Jaded Gem Shop, Jasmine. And Tracy says, great video. That's a problem when you, like me, have a stash. You really don't know which one to do next. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. And isn't that the truth? If you have a stash, doesn't matter really what size, I don't think. As long as you have a stash, it's like, which one do you do next? And I know that some people I have seen, they actually have a wheel that they put theirs on to see if what they're going to work on, and they let their wheel decide, which I think is kind of cool. I just look and decide if it's something. I just look in my stash, and if something calls to me, then I will pull it out. I will keep looking, and then if I have 3 or 4 boxes, then I will look through and decide, which one do I really want to work on next, or is there a possible event that I can use this for? And so sometimes that does help me to decide if I am going to work on something specific. And sometimes I'll just think, I'm in the mood to work on a landscape. So I go through and decide, I look at my landscapes and see, or I'm not really in the mood to work on a large project. I want to work on something smaller. And then that's when I'll also look at the sizes. I have my larger ones on a different shelf, and I don't like to do several large ones at the same time. I prefer to do one large and then the others different sizes. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way, depending if I've decided that I do want to participate in an event. When I want to participate in an event, most of the ones I always gravitate for, or the ones that work, are larger. Okay, so that was Tracy. Then we have Deborah. She says, I am one busy lady. Hope I have fun on my trip. She likes the WIP I'm working on. She's going to finish the Silver Rose. And then she says she only has a narrow strip to do. She's been working on it less than last week. So I'm sure by now, because Deborah, I think, is a rather fast diamond painter, or I think that she is. And I bet she's already done that and probably has a couple of others that she's already finished. But she does tend to show what she completes on in my Facebook group. So if you're not part of the Facebook group and you would like to be, we would love to have you in the Facebook group. So you can go in and request to be in the Facebook group. And once you do, then I will approve you, and you can post some of yours on there as well. You're welcome to post starts. You can post questions, and feel free to post your WIPs. Doesn't have to be from a company that's copyrighted. I would prefer that, but I don't require it, because some of us like to work on some of the budget companies. Okay, the next comments are from a cross-stitch conversion, and this says from Elizabeth. She says she loves my WIP and chats. It's going to be 91 degrees there. That was 2 weeks ago. She says that she wants to get into the pool, but the pool temperature is pretty much the same as the temperature outside. And I get that. It is so miserably hot here. And we do miss our pool. I did not think that my husband would really miss our pool once we had sold the house, but he really does. But right now it's so hot that it really doesn't matter, because it is really too hot to even be able to get into the pool, which is really a shame. If you have a pool, you want to be able to enjoy it. It's kind of hard to enjoy it when it is so hot. And it's hot here too. The humidity is just really bad. It is just not fun. It is not fun at all. Just getting out to go to the store is bad enough because it is so warm. Crafty-ish Christina says, oh, Christine, sorry, says she's also doing diamond painting Deutschland. I think. No, she's doing DIY DP November 23 event as well. She loves watching Kidding Up Kitten. She's watching her and have inspired her to start her own conversion and start a YouTube channel to document. And she says, thanks for all the great content. And thanks so much. Congratulations on you deciding to have your own channel and to document. It is a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it. I have been on having my channel now for about a year and a half and no regrets whatsoever and no looking back. I'm not going to not have a channel. I think that it is so much fun. It is definitely something I never thought that I would see myself doing, but I am so glad that I did. I've met so many people just, through talking, to others, and all of you guys who post under the discussions, and then the ones of you that are posting on Facebook. And so it has just been so much fun, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's something that I highly recommend. It is some work, but it is fun work. It's not anything that is really hard or complicated. Especially once you figure out the ropes. It does take some time, or it did me on the technical side. But other than that, it really wasn't that difficult to just start. Okay, this one. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, that was the last one that was on the cross stitch with the tags. I'm going to finish up this color, which I'm almost done with, and then on this one, I'm going to call it good. I know that it has been either close to an hour by the time that I edit, or it's going to be over an hour. And so I really hate to do that, go over an hour. So I'm going to stop here. I am going to finish this little section after I finish recording. And then that way I will have 6 more done, and then I can go ahead and get started on the next 6. Today I have stitched 266 stitches, or 266 drills that I laid down. I am now at 13.14%, and that is 9,907 drills out of 75,400. And 75,400 sounds like a lot of drills, and it really is. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it's not so much, because a lot of the larger canvases have that many. But to put all these down and you have to count, I think that makes it seem like it's even more. I have about 20 more squares to do, so maybe I will be able to work on those this week, and then by next Friday, whenever I record for my Saturday WIP and Chat, I will be at least at the end or close to the end of this row, and then I can go ahead and start on the next one. And that's when I think I'm going to start seeing more, because right now I am working on the outside of the bookshelf, so have not been able to see much. I can see a tree, I can see some books, but that's about it. I hope that you enjoyed this WIP and Chat today. Hope that you were able to get something done if you wanted to, or just to sit and relax and just to listen. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, great start to your week next week. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.